One thing I mentioned to was it yesterday, maybe the day before, is how when you leave the house, I always go adventures or whatever. Don't have a character like that in books yet, but I should probably put that in there. Just like, yeah, going on adventures or whatever, just like when leaving to go do something. But it just like a fun thing that I haven't put in the book yet. But that adds like a kind of a layer to the concept of tasks or errands or something. Like it just adds like this funness thing, because that's technically what it is going on adventures.
Yeah. Going to the grocery store. Adventures.
Yeah. Like it is adventures, but I haven't heard anyone phrase it that way other than when I say it just all the time.
Yeah.
So like to almost change the paradigm or perception of the doing everyday tasks.
Yeah.
It's just the mundane stuff. Like people, it's going to go on a rant with something else, but I watched a couple reaction videos to Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
Wondering what the hype was about, because we get it, but
which moments?
Yeah, like what's really hitting with people, and it seems like just obviously there's that the part that is like really common right now of just people having existential crises, basically. It's just like, when all the world is over whatever and everything's meaningless and nothing matters, you just want to end it, but that's not the answer. You gotta be kind instead. It's like, we have a quote on our wall, on our fridge from 15 years ago by the Dalai Lama that says, "Be kind whenever possible. It is always possible." And it's like, everybody's heard that, but it's the most obvious, basic, fundamental thing. Like it's the opposite of rocket science.
Well, that's the funny thing about wise people, is that the things they say are just like so simple. Like Dalai Lama in that one video, he's like, "You're here 100 years maybe on this earth. It should not be worse by the time you're gone because of you."
Yeah.
It's like, how simple.
Like it's the simplest things, but when somebody goes into like a story, like a movie or something, they obviously state of being matters, circumstances don't matter. So like 10 years ago, when somebody wrote that quote that we put on our fridge, it was in the newspapers. Thousands of people have seen it, and can you count? You could probably count the number of people on your fingers on how many actually took that and applied it to their life to any degree at all. But nobody's reading a paper to absorb and let something sink in, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But when people go to a movie, a story, a book, or whatever it is, they're bringing their state of being, because that's the only thing that matters, into a zone or into a state where they're trying to get lost in the thing, absorb the thing, be ready for it. And then they hear it in a movie, and then it's like, oh, be kind whenever possible. Then it clicks, or then they bring it in and they feel it, because there's no the circumstances don't matter. They read in the paper 10 years ago, a decade has passed. The person who even wrote it into the paper the first time probably didn't apply it to their life. They're
just trying to find the things like that.
Yeah. But maybe they got into a state of being when they went into a movie where they're deliberately trying to get absorbed in the story, and then it finally hit them even the slightest bit, and then maybe they'll go home and they'll be mean again to something or have attitude problems or something. But it might sink in a bit because they're shifting their state of being when they go into the circumstance, because the state of being is the only thing that would have done it. If they just if you just see those lines out of context in the movie or whatever, then your state of being is not in the movie, because you're not going there. You just walk by and you see somebody go, "Just be kind." Just yeah, I know. That would be it, and that's the way people probably read those quotes and all that other stuff. And it's just the obvious stuff.